Chapter 2. Russ. If you looked at the building from the street level, it resembled many of the others in Buchanan. It had the same white, chalky brick, the same 1 block long, half a block wide dimensions. It sat behind the same gray concrete sidewalk. Yet if you looked up, the building that housed the Buchanan Science Center was topped with a many-sided silver dome. I tried to avoid spending more time than I needed to in Buchanan. Actually, aside from the occasional trip to the train station to visit my father, who worked as station master, or to the consignment shop that was the only place I could afford to buy clothes, I rarely even stepped outside of the gates of St. Hilaire. I'd worked too hard to get there in the first place, and leaving never failed to remind me how out of place I was anywhere else. But every time I did have to come to Buchanan, this building was the one that caught my eye. Like me, it also felt out of place, like something that had wandered out of St. Hilaire, gotten tired, and then stopped to rest before finding itself at home. I pulled my eyes from the dome and scanned the street, looking for the car I was here to buy. The position as Youth Corps student leader came with a small stipend, and my father had insisted I use the money for a car rather than something useful like food or the winter heating bill. As much as I would have liked to turn down the offer, I'd found myself unexpectedly without transportation and looking down the barrel of an upstate New York winter. So, here I was. I glanced at my phone again, opened the Sell It Quick app, and brought up the ad. The listing gave the car's model year, 15 years prior, the color, blue, the make, Chevy, and the condition, not dead. In the voicemail he'd left on my phone, the guy who owned the car had confirmed each of those items, and not much more, but that was fine. I wasn't in a position to care what the car looked like, only that it drove. On the street, Volvos sat next to Fords, sat next to Hyundais. All of them were from model years in recent memory. None of them was anything my $500 would buy. I walked past the Wickens funeral parlor, which gave St. Hilaire a large amount of business, and around to the building's front door and pushed the buzzer, then waited with my hands in the pocket of my dark coat.